Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the channel. Today's video, I'm going to give you guys the top 5 best loadouts you need to use right now after the Battlefield 6 update. Battlefield 6 Winter Update is finally live with a brand new Empire State, a new pickaxe, and many more is coming. So if any of these top 5 loadouts helps you out, make sure you do is click that like button in today's video, hit the subscribe button, and let's dive right into the setups for them. Alright, so our first gun on the list we have is the AK-4D. Now, a lot of people wouldn't necessarily recommend this one, but I would highly actually would, because you guys can see, has like a highly kick rate of a weapon. Damage profile is actually pretty good on it, and a lot of people need to start using it if you have not been using it right now. You guys can see, fastest time to kill for an assault rifle. Alright, so starting on with the muzzle category. Now, the only one I would actually recommend out of this list for this particular weapon is going to be the standard suppressor. Now, the reason why I'm going to recommend the standard one is because it keeps you head on the radar just like the other ones. It reduces the range where people can spot you, but with the standard suppressor, that's the only good thing about it. It just keeps you heading off the radar. Now, of course, it only costs us 20 points. Now, the other one I would actually recommend that's going to be good for this weapon is going to be the long suppressor. Now, the long suppressor just keeps you in off the radar, but it reduces the recoil buildup when shooting with this one and improves the recoil recovery at the range. But of course, it costs us 25 points, but there are some additional attachments I'm going to explain a little bit later on this gun that you're obviously going to be using to try to increase that recoil recovery at range and of course help out with that accuracy as well. Now, for the barrel attachment, I'm only going to keep this very simple by just using the extended one, because with the extended one, you of course actually increases the butt velocity at range, but there's no ADS speed penalty when using this one, and of course it has a faster transition while aiming down sight. A lot of people actually would recommend is going to be the heavy extended one, which of course increases your precision, which you're going to hit a lot of more of your shots, but the ADS speed is what the cost of it if you actually care about this one. So I mean, if you just want to swap to a heavy extended one, that's up to you, but I will obviously recommend the extended one just for more of a transparent thing. I just feel like the extended one is going to be the best choice for this weapon as well. For my underbarrel attachment, now there are some different ones you obviously can be running, which of course a lot of people actually would recommend any of the verticals, the stubbies, and sometimes even the angles one, but the angles ones are not going to be the choice for this weapon, and I'm going to keep this very simple by just using the low profile stubby, because with this one it increases the control for the weapon and gives you somewhat of a little bit of precision, but of course it increases your aiming down sight time as well for this one. Now the only con about this one is it costs 45 points. 45 points, is it really worth it? Not saying that it is and not saying that it is not, because obviously you can swap it out for maybe it's like a 30 plus stubby or a 25 vertical, but you also got to worry about is what you want to add along for this weapon. But I still think the low profile stubby is going to be the choice one for this one because of the high kick for this gun. It has a high kick to it, but has a high damage profile with the slow rate of fire for this gun. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably want to know, well, what about the magazine choice? Now, of course, the basic size is a 20 round, and of course, the fast size is a 20 round, but it costs 5 extra points, which of course actually maxes out our point system at 100 out of 100, but we're going to be using our last 5 points on a scope attachment for this particular weapon. And of course, for the scope, you obviously can be using as either a mini flex, or if you want to bump it up, I will obviously tell you guys the ROM 1.75 is always the best choice for me. But I feel like the mini flex is going to be the best go-to choice for this weapon. As I showed you guys in the firing range, this is what I think is the best build you should be rocking for the AK-4D. It's good for its close, medium, and somewhat long range fights if you actually can hit your shots by just tap firing it. Our second weapon on the list we have is the SL9. Now, of course, everybody knows about this SMG as it is. Little to no fire rate, good for its recoil control. Damage profile could be a little better, but of course there are some different SMGs here in the game that is better than the SL9 in my opinion. Y'all let me know down in the comment section below what do you guys think is the best SMG. So if you guys need a good build for it, I got you guys with it. All right, so starting out with the first attachment for the right accessories we're going to be using is the 5MW green. I feel like this is one of the best hipfire accuracy attachments you should be using for the SL9, especially if you don't have it on. It brings your hipfire accuracy from a 62 down to a 46. That actually has a drastic impact for this particular SMG. So always remember, this is going to be the best right accessory you should be using for this SMG, and just in general, because I think this is one of the best hipfire accuracy attachment for any particular weapon. For my muzzle attachment, I'm going to be using is the CQB suppressor, which of course actually keeps you hitting off the radar, reduces the range where people can spot you, and there's no cons about this one. Now that's actually pretty good for this particular SMG. Now if you actually want to use the standard suppressor, which of course brings your point system down from like a 30 to a 20, It's really good for it, but it reduces your hipfire accuracy for this one, and you don't want that for any particular SMG, just for any close range battles that might happen. Like I said again, if you can't aim down sight fast enough, this is going to be the best choice for as a muzzle attachment for this particular SMG. From my barrel attachment, I'm going to be using is the extended barrel and not the heavy one. As I said again, bow velocity matters the most instead of aiming down sight speed when it comes down for the heavy extended one. So if you want to swap it out for the heavy one, you obviously can, but if you don't care about that, I mean, hey, that's all up to you guys. I'm just telling you guys what I believe is the best attachment you should be using for some particular weapons that I would recommend for you. My underbarrel attachment I'm going to be using is the factory angle, which of course reduces the recoil buildup for this weapon and helps out with that aim and outside speed as well. Now, there are some other different underbarrels you obviously can be using. So of course, maybe it's like the aloe vertical, the rib vertical, and even right here is the folding stubby, but they all have cons to them, which it comes down for what is it, aim and outside speed while moving. If you don't want no cons for any particular weapon as it is, why would you want that? You might as well just keep it very simple by just having all pros and no cons for this one. And I feel like this is one of the best pros about this underbarrel for this SMG. Coming out for the magazine attachment, I'm going to be using is the 30 round mag instead of the 60. Now this one is actually kind of crazy because this one costs 55 points. Y'all let me know down in the comment section below, is that the highest points here in the game, like 55 for just any particular weapon? I'm just kind of curious. My ammunition I'm going to be using is the FMJ just to help out with that point system, and of course the standard magazine. My ergonomic I'm going to be using is the improved mag catch, which improves the reload speed of the weapon. And of course, for our final attachment for our scope, we're going to be using is the mini flex, which I think is one of the best scopes you should be using for any particular SMG, in my opinion. Y'all let me know down in the comment section below, what do you guys think is the best red dot sight you should be using? Our third weapon choice is the Sword 300. Now, of course, I heard that this actually got like a nice little recoil nerf, which I don't necessarily don't notice it, especially when I play like a couple games with it, trying to rank this up. I noticed that this gun still feels the same as it is. So whatever the nerf that people have been saying that it got, don't seem like it got any nerf. Starting off with our muzzle attachment, I'm going to be using is the long suppressor, which of course keeps you hidden off the radar. It reduces the range where the soldiers can spot you, and of course reduces the recoil buildup and helps out with that recoil recovery with the cost of the gun. Now, there are some cons about this one because it reduces the hipfire accuracy and the weapon sway while shooting this one. That can be a little bit of a problem, but if you know how to control and how to manage the recoil of this weapon, there's really just no problem for you, if in my opinion. I feel like this is one of the best muzzles you should be using for the Sword 300. For my barrel attachment, I'm going to be using is the extended one, which is the only best choice for this one because you obviously increases the bow velocity and helps out with the aim and outside speed of the weapon. My underbarrel attachment I'm going to be using is the canted stubby because it reduces somewhat of the recoil for the weapon and helps out with the aim and outside speed, but the only cost about this one is just the 80 speed movement. If you don't care about that, that's all up to you guys, but I feel like this is one of the best choices you should be using as the underbarrel for this weapon. For my magazine attachment, I'm going to be using the 36 round because I do think this is one of the best standard magazine sizes you should be using for multiplayer in general. There's really no point of using no 40 or no 50 round. I don't think that's not necessarily worth it, especially if you're going to be running against like playing like Conquest or King of the Hill or just any particular different game mode size. There's really no point of using no 40 or 50 round mags for it. The 36 round is just the basic size magazine choice you should be using for any weapon. My ammunition I'm going to be using is the FMJ for the standard magazine size, and of course for our final attachment for our scope, as I said again, the mini flex is going to be the best choice for me. If you don't have any good choices, I will always tell you and will recommend the RM 1.75. It's going to be the all-around good choice for multiplayer in general. Our fourth weapon on the list we have is the RPK. Now I'm actually kind of curious on how this weapon feels after the recent long-range nerf update that they actually did for this weapon, and you guys can see gun still has little to no recoil. I don't know what the hell is this actually keep flashing on my screen, but that's getting annoying. It's like I'm shooting at a wall or something. But, you know, this is actually what I believe is one of the best class subs you should be using right now for this weapon. All right, so starting on with the scope attachment, I'm going to be using is the Baker 3x scope. Now, this is more of like my red sec build for the RPK. If you actually like a good long-range build setup for it, this is going to be the best choice. Now, if you actually want to maybe bump this down to maybe it's like a good old multiplayer size, I would actually tell you the mini flex will be the best choice, or the RM for the best scope attachment. For my ammunition I'm going to be using is the hollow points round. Now, of course, with this actually does increase the headshot damage on this LMG. Now, this is not really like a recommended attachment, but I feel like for the RPK in general, if you're obviously playing red sec or just even playing multiplayer in general, I feel like this actually makes the weapon more of like a 2-tap at range. Y'all let me know down in the comment section below if y'all been feeling like the hollow points and the static rounds have been working for your guns in general. No matter if it's an AR, SMGs, just let me know down in the comment section. For my magazine choice, I'm going to be using using is the 40 round fast mag. Now, like I said, this is more of like the red sec build that I would at least would tell you, but I just feel like this is one of the best choices you should be using for a weapon, and it only costs us 10 points, which I think is very simple just to be using. My underbarrel attachment I'm going to be using is the 6.864 vertical, which somewhat reduces the recoil for this weapon, but it does have the ADS-B cost when you're moving down sight for this one. It's not really the best attachment, but like I said again, we just gotta worry about the point system you are using for this particular weapon as it is. My barrel attachment I'm gonna be using is the heavy extended one and not the heavy one. Now, of course, this one actually does increases the precision at the range that you're gonna be using for this weapon, and as an LMG. Precision matters the most than it is for recoil control. I don't know, me personally, LMG choices, you need to have more precision because you want to make sure all your shots are going to be hitting all the time. And for this particular choice, this is going to be the go-to barrel you should be using. And for our final attachment for the muzzle, as I said again, the long suppressor is going to be the best choice, which of course keeps you hitting off the radar, reduces where the people can spot you, and increases the recoil buildup and improves the recoil recovery for this particular weapon. So this is what I believe is the best RPK class loop you should be using right now in multiplayer, and even in Red Sec if you want to give this a try. And for our final choice of the weapon we have is the Cord Assault Rifle. As we already know, this is one of the best long-range weapons you guys should be using here in the game. Gun literally to this day still have no recoil. I'm surprised this actually didn't get a nerf as it is, which, you know, gun still hits like a tank. Recoil is still one of the best ones as of right now. If you guys need a good loadout for it, I got you guys with it. Coming down for the scope attachment, as I said again, man, the RM 1.75 is the best scope in my opinion for multiplayer in general. I don't know, y'all let me know down in the comment section below what y'all think is the recommended scope that everybody should be using right now here in the multiplayer scenery. My ammunition I'm going to be using is the FMJ rounds. My magazine choice I'm going to be using, of course, is 36 rounds. There's no point of using a 40 round for this, especially for an assault rifle. I just think that the 36 rounds is going to be the best choice for you. My underbarrel attachment I'm going to be using is the Stipple Stubby, which reduces somewhat of the recoil for the weapon. It helps out with the aim and down sight speed, but it has the cost of your aim and down sight speed while moving. Now, I said again, if you don't care about that, that's up to you guys, but I feel like that the Stipple Stubby is going to be the best choice for you. Now, of course, a lot of people might actually tell you should be using either maybe it's like the low profile stubby, which of course increases the recoil control to a 71, but the point system is what matters the most right now for this particular weapon. My barrel attachment I'm going to be using is the 415mm prototype, which of course is one of the best barrels for this weapon and increases the build velocity at the range for this gun. And of course, my final attachment I'm going to be using is the standard suppressor, which of course keeps you hitting out the radar, reduces the people where they can spot you. And the only cons about this one, it reduces the hipfire accuracy. This is an assault rifle, not an SMG. And this is what I believe are the best 5 attachments you should use right now here in Battlefield 6. Y'all let me know down in the comment section below if any of these loadouts did help you out, if they actually got you your first high kill gameplay, or even got you your first ever win here in Red Sec. I'm actually kind of curious on how many of you guys actually be using some of your multiplayer loadouts in Red Sec. I'm actually kind of curious. But I hope you guys do enjoy the rest of your guys' day. If you guys want me to do a nice little settings video, comment down below, and let's see if we can get the like goal in today's video to be I'm gonna say it's like 50 likes. That's all I ask you guys to do. I'll see you guys in the next one.